Wow. Jesus. What the fuck is up, guys? My name is Nick from Laughing Go Fat Reviews. And, ooh, man. Let's go over that, I don't know. Ubisoft? I don't know how to say it. Ubisoft press conference. It was a doozy. They announced a lot of stuff. So, let's, I suppose, just jump into it. They started off by having Shigeru Miyamoto come out on stage, which was, not something I can say I expected, but, he came out with, like, a Mega Man-esque looking arm blaster, and they announced Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, kind of like a turn-based, tactical RPG, I guess, interesting. It's a Switch exclusive. That guy comes out on August 29th. Then they talked about The Crew 2, something else I didn't expect. That guy comes out early 2018. They showed some gameplay of that as well, and some sizzle trailer. Then they showed off Transference, or at least they, I guess, just teased Transference. They didn't really show off what it even is going to be, but it looks like it's a VR game, I'm assuming, judging by everything that they showed in that trailer. Then they talked about Skulls and Bones, which is a sort of pirate-esque, well, not pirate-esque, it is pirates, naval combat game. The interesting thing about that is that they said that it was conceived because of the naval combat that was in Assassin's Creed Black Flag. So you'd be able to do, PvP sea battles. That pretty much all they showed. So I don't know what else is going to be in it. But then they showed off Starlink Battle of Atlas, which is, I guess, their own Toys to Life game. So they showed off, you kind of clip a thing to your controller. I'm assuming that's the pad. You put a toy ship on there, and then you can customize the ship, mix and match different parts, and puts it in the game, and then you can, play with that. That guy, I don't think has a release date, but they did say that it's going to be for PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Then they showed off some Far Cry 5 stuff. This was expected, so a little bit of gameplay, but they didn't really show off a whole lot. And not necessarily anything that we didn't already know, other than you get a pet dog, which is cool. And then they dropped something that I don't think anybody ever expected, which was Beyond Good and Evil 2. They said it's going to be not necessarily a prequel, like in the sense that it tells the story before the first Beyond Good and Evil, but it does take place before the first Beyond Good and Evil. They really, all they showed was just a cinematic trailer. They talked about it a little bit. It had a monkey in it. That was pretty cool. They also talked about South Park. Two things about South Park. They showed off a little bit of Fractured Butthole, and then they also showed off a new phone game, South Park Phone Destroyer, which looks like, I think it's a card game. And then they also announced, not like it really needed announcing, but Just Dance 2018. They had a bunch of people dancing on stage, including what looked like a sad panda. So, first of all, as far as the conference goes, much better than I anticipated. Way better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like it has been in previous years, or like EA's conference, where they really don't have a whole lot to talk about. They don't have a whole lot to show. I thought they were going to show a lot of DLC. In fact, actually, they did show the new Steep DLC. It's going to be the Olympics, so 2018 Olympics. That's cool. Not sure that, it's super important. I did play Steep. It's fun, but I can't say that a whole lot of people bought it, so I don't know that a whole lot of people care. But yeah, so the conference was way better than I thought it was going to be, because they just kept announcing things over and over and over again. They also showed off a little bit of Assassin's Creed, but that's really not important because, frankly, nothing that they showed off is new. We saw more of it during Xbox, the Microsoft conference anyways. So as far as this Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle thing goes, it looks interesting. It looks unique. but I can't really say that I'm excited for it, just because I don't really like tactical RPGs. It does look interesting, and so I might at some point, maybe throughout the course of my life, give it a go, but that's about the best I can say. It was neat to see Miyamoto on stage, though, and although during that part of the conference it was clean, later they used a lot of fucks and shit, so I'm surprised Nintendo allowed them to show Nintendo stuff at their conference, and then also simultaneously at the same conference say fuck. The Crew 2, I didn't play the Crew, so I don't know, can't say that I'm super excited for it, but it looks interesting. They're adding planes, they're adding boats. I don't know what all the first Crew had in it, but I'm assuming it didn't have planes and boats, or at least they acted like that was new. They also showed off some sort of off-roading MotorStorm style stuff as well, with bikes and shit like that. Transference, I have nothing to say about that because I have no idea what it is. They didn't say anything about it. So Skulls and Bones, this one is really interesting. I legitimately thought it was going to be another Assassin's Creed. I wasn't too fond of Black Flag, so I don't think I even made it to any of the naval combat, so I can't say whether or not it's good. I also didn't play Rogue, so I don't know whether or not the naval combat in that is good either. But a lot of people like it. I know a lot of people like it. I've talked to a bunch of people that really, really enjoy Black Flag, and one of the defining factors of that game is the naval combat, so it's interesting to see them take that idea and spin off with it. I just hope to God that it has nothing to do with Assassin's Creed, like, you know, Easter eggs, little nods here and there. That's fine, I don't fucking care, but I don't want it to have anything to do with Assassin's Creed. Starlink, God, this looks dumb. This looks dumb as shit. I want to say I'm excited for it. I love LEGO Dimensions. I'm not a huge fan of either Disney Infinity or Skylanders, but I don't know. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt here and say that maybe they're bringing something new to the table, but frankly, it really doesn't look like it. And also, the thing that you attach to your controller looks fucking awkward as shit. Far Cry 5, I don't know. I've never been a huge Far Cry guy, and they really didn't show off anything new, so it's not, you know, easy for me to say, hey, but this thing looks cool, because none of it is new. So, but as far as Beyond Good and Evil 2 goes, here's the funny thing. I own Beyond Good and Evil for the PS3 because it was free for PlayStation Plus a few years back. Never played it. Always wanted to play it. I never played it when it came out originally either. And so watching this trailer, I legitimately actually want to go play Beyond Good and Evil now. And I think I might do that just because I know that it's classic, and this game, this new one, made me excited for it. So I think that honestly shows you like what you can accomplish at one of these press conferences, where even though I've never played Beyond Good and Evil, and even though they just showed a simple cinematic trailer, they did it so well that it made me want to go play the first one. And let's say I didn't own it on PS3, that would push me to go buy it on PS4, because I believe it is on PS4 as a PS2 classic. So it's like, you know, I think that's smart. I think that they accomplished exactly what you need to accomplish at one of these conferences, which is make me excited for the things that you are releasing. And one of the ways you can do that is by making me excited to play the things that I missed out on. Maybe it's a sequel to a game that I never got around to playing, like Beyond Good and Evil, and, you know, I go play that. But there is one thing that I wanted to touch on with Assassin's Creed. They mentioned, just offhand, he said, we've been working on this game since Black Flag. And I want to know, I haven't looked this up, and so I don't know the specifics. I want to know how many teams are working on Assassin's Creed, because that transparency changes everything. A lot of people complain about Call of Duty. A lot of people complain that Call of Duty comes out annually and they don't have enough time to work on it. But the reality of the situation is that they have 3 years to work on it, because they have 3 different teams working on it. Meaning that they get about as much time as your average dev cycle. Things like Grand Theft Auto, where it takes them a really long time to release them, or Gran Turismo, barring 6, where it takes them like fucking years and years and years and years and years. Those are the exception, not the rule. In today's climate, things are so efficient that you can make quality games, faster than you ever have been able to before. But this Assassin's Creed, this comment that he made about them working on this game since Black Flag, are you telling me that one team has been, or what's going on? Because I'm pretty positive that another team made Rogue, so I'm gonna not count Rogue. But Unity and Syndicate have come out since Black Flag. That's 2 Assassin's Creed games, one of which was broken as all hell, and I have an issue with that. The issue is that it's the same thing with Anthem. Is this what you were working on instead of Assassin's Creed Unity and instead of Assassin's Creed Syndicate? It begs the question. I'm not necessarily saying that that's what's going on here, but you got to understand what it looks like. But other than that, I mean, they definitely talked about a lot of stuff. They showed off a lot of stuff. I'm impressed. I'm thoroughly impressed. But the bar was set very low. So, it's not hard to impress me when your previous conferences have not been very good. But I definitely commend them for what they did, and they put on a good show. It was interesting. It was way better than EA's conference. So I would say that it's still not quite as good as wasn't quite as good as Microsoft's. And as far as Bethesda's goes, I would say that it was better than Bethesda's, just because they announced more new things. They showed me more to be interested in. The only thing that I was interested in as far as Bethesda's conference the 2 things that I was interested in were The Evil Within 2 and Wolfenstein 2. The problem is that those were the only new things that they showed at all. Whereas Ubisoft, even though I'm really only interested in 1 or 2 things, they showed off a lot of things to be interested in. If you liked The Crew, if you liked the first one, here's a second one. If you liked Steep, here's a DLC for that. If you liked the naval combat in Black Flag, here's a new game that's all about the naval combat. So there's a lot to be excited for, even if you're not excited for everything. There's still a lot there to unpack, which is interesting. So, but yeah. So if you like the video, drop a like. I don't know. My name is Nick from Laugh and Grow Fire Reviews. If you make sure you laugh a lot, eat a lot, have fun doing it, and you'll see me in the next video for the Sony press conference.